Hi, I'm Amberly. Welcome back to Real Florida Magazine. Today is your opportunity to find out more about our local area.
Welcome back here, and it's a gorgeous day in Marianna, Florida, right now at the Paint and Pork Festival in Marianna, 10th annual this year, here with Charles and Craig, who are two of the competitors in the barbecue contest this year. Charles, where are you from?
Americus, Georgia.
And Craig, you're from Panama City, is that correct?
No, Bristol, Florida.
Bristol, that's right. Well, I knew you're from somewhere
yeah,
in
somewhere close,
area.
yeah.
Is this the first time that you guys have competed in this particular competition?
Yeah, this is our first time. It's been going on, from what I understand, 10 years, but it's our first time competing here.
And in what categories are you participating this year?
We're participating in the brisket, the pulled pork, the chicken, and the ribs.
Now, is that the 4 categories that exist? So you're in everything?
Yeah, we're in everything, yes.
Okay. Charles, what do you think? What are your chances? How many competitors out here this year?
I believe there's a couple of dozen, if I'm not mistaken, but I think we've got pretty good chances. I think we did a pretty good job myself.
Well, now here before the show started, you gave us a few samples, and I have to admit that I'd vote for you right now, but I got to tell you also that you're the only one I've tasted at this point. But it was wonderful. Melt in your mouth, done just right. Brisket. Are there any ringers out here? Are there any guys who are participating on a national level that you know of?
I've heard there's a few.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The interesting thing about barbecue competition is that on any given day, somebody can win or somebody can lose because it's up to the fickleness, if you will, of the judges. Right. If you watch some of the national shows, some of the barbecue shows, pretty interesting stuff. They really dwell more on the drama, more on the personalities, really, than they do the food. But it is very interesting, and as you see on some of those shows, some of these guys who are national champions don't necessarily win over sometimes a newcomer. So I think that at the end of the day, the great leveler is the palate of the local judges. In this case, are they using local people to judge?
Yes, they are.
And they have disclosed to you who those people are?
Well, we got to meet a few of them yesterday at a meeting before all of this started.
Okay.
So as far as I knew, they were all local.
Typically, it's going to be blind judging. We don't really know who they are. They mix and mingle around. We know who they are, but we don't know who judges our box. So it's the luck of the draw. So we're hoping we got the right judges.
So the judges don't necessarily get to taste all, if you say a couple dozen, all 24 samples then?
Right, no, they don't get to taste everything. They only get to judge a certain few of the boxes, and then they make their scores.
Now, what would you say the biggest competition that you guys have entered to date would be?
The biggest competition would be over in Tallahassee. They had an airport. I think they call it Airport Pig Fest. Was the charity and everything, and we didn't come in last over there, so that's good.
Well, I got to tell you,
we did about mid range on that. So
out of how many?
Out of 22, I think we were about 14. So,
well, as a guy who likes to eat, I got to tell you that even if you came in last, I'm sure that your food would be great as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. I would venture to say that if somebody's going to enter one of these competitions, typically they're going to know a little bit about what they're doing.
Yeah, typically so. You wouldn't be out here. There's pretty good financial stake that you got to put out here to be able to enter the competition and everything. So you kind of have to know a little bit about what you're doing, because it's like $250 for the entry fee and everything. Wow. So most people don't want to just throw away $250. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to ask you that, what the entry fee was. $250. So you've got skin in the game.
I got skin in the game. I got skin in the game, and I'm looking to get some skin out of the game.
Now you say is this typically your setup, and Charles is along for the ride as a helper, or what?
Well, for this contest that might be true, but we are part of the team, and this young man over here is part of our team. And this is Charles's first category, our first competition, so hopefully he'll get it in his blood, and then he'll be a full member of the team.
Now, obviously, Memphis in May, some of the large national competitions, sort of the holy grail, if you will. Right. Do you have aspirations? And obviously, you're relatively new to the game, but do you have aspirations possibly of going to some of those well-recognized competitions?
Possibly in the future. We'll just, have to wait and see.
What's the most fun about participating in a competition like this?
Well, we've been friends for a while. That's part of it. The friendship, the fellowship, just being together and cooking food is just it's fun. I mean, it really is, and then you get to meet a lot of people, travel around, see different places and how other people prepare food and share things, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, Americus, Bristol, you came a little bit farther, obviously, but even at that, not to the point where it's very uncomfortable to do that much travel. Now, when these guys travel 1,000 or more miles and have to bring their pits with them, that's when it gets it. Now, what style of cooking do you do? What kind of a pit are you using?
This is a stump smoker. This is what a lot of the bigger barbecue people use. This is a small version. Okay. But the Stumps guy makes all different sizes. You'll see a lot of different sizes out here today, but it's pretty much foolproof. That's why we're using it.
Now, is this wood or charcoal?
It's charcoal with smoking wood on there, so it's a combination of both.
Now, do you disclose that to the judges or anywhere on your collateral or on your pieces? Do they know what you did to prepare the food, or are they just tasting the food?
They're just tasting the food. They know we're subscribed to the Florida Barbecue Association rules, which it's got to be wood or charcoal, no gas, no electric. So everything's going to be cooked pretty much the same.
Gotcha. Now, there are rules, and that brings another whole subject up to mind here. There are some pretty stringent rules, and obviously you've got to jump through a certain number of hoops. Are you learning as you go, Charles? I mean, I would imagine that you're constantly being exposed to new things as relatively new to this industry.
Oh yeah, we were, given a list of the rules before we started. Actually, Craig and I had looked online at the rules before we ever entered the contest, and they shared that with us at the meeting last night. So yes, there are things you have to do. There's certain ways, you got to go about doing, what we do here, and but that's good. You need rules. So,
well, and as you just pointed out, now comes the tedious part, the cleanup.
The cleanup.
And I mentioned you ought to have a woman or two with you, along for the ride, if nothing else. At this point, you say, all right, we've done our part, now here you go. Right. And I'm not being sexist when I say that.
That's why we're here, and you don't see any women here. So.
Well, you notice my wife made herself pretty scarce, too, when she heard the word clean. Listen, best of luck to both of you. It was good to meet both of you. It was very good to taste your food, more importantly. Craig, Charles, best of luck in the competition. We're hoping to stick around long enough to be able to experience some of that, maybe able to film some of that. If we gave you our card. If you have the opportunity, go down. You can take the opportunity to see the video clip from this interview. So again,
would love to.
Good to meet you, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Good to meet you. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming out here and supporting this program out here.
Well, Charles, best of luck to you as well. Hopefully you're going to participate more with Craig in the future.
Oh, yeah.
And on your way back to Americas, either today or tomorrow, whenever you travel.
We've actually got plans to do a few contests in South Georgia, too. So
good.
We're going to check into some of those up there. But we're going to, we've had a great time here at Mariana. So I believe we've probably found us a contest. We're going to be back again.
Well, you're going to let Craig do some of that travel, in other words, going up to southwest Georgia.
All right, yeah. I come down to Florida, he can come up to Georgia, so we'll share it.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
You're watching Real Florida Magazine today here in beautiful Mariana, Florida for the Paint and Pork 10th annual, along with the barbecue contest. Now, there's also a steak contest out here. We haven't had the opportunity to speak to any of those folks yet, but along with the entry fee, you actually get the steak. They give you that piece of meat. You get to cook it. More importantly, we as the spectators get a chance to sample it after the fact. It sounds like the rest of this evening is going to be nothing but fun, and if you come away from here hungry, it's probably going to be your own fault. We're here in Mariana, Florida, just enjoying a great time at the 10th annual Paint and Pork. You're watching Real Florida Magazine, and we will be right back.